followers that you're starting a live video. Okay, tell my followers. Hello. Hi, Rooney B. Hi, Kwame. How are you? Hi, Talker Steez. Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome. Ask me anything real estate. Did you guys just see the post, the reels that I just made? If you're joining us, welcome, welcome. Hi. Hi, Truth Spoken 108. Hi, how are you? Hello. Ask me. We have 30 minutes, so ask me anything real estate. So I just posted a reel. Today I was just sitting down chilling, and my mentee, one of my mentees, sent me an email. And in the email, I actually didn't even see the link. I know she sent me emails, and I get these emails a lot. Hey, Yamu, I don't want to do it. I don't want to see this in the group, but I just closed or this, or I just finished renovation. And she had sent me a link and had all the pictures of the property she just renovated. She bought the property for like $70,000. I don't know how much the renovation cost is. I'm going to talk to her more. We'll probably schedule something so I can get her testimonial. But she bought the property for $70K. And after renovation, the new value of the property is $235,000. So I know her renovation is not over 100 because I like their renovation to be under. So we'll see. But if you haven't seen it, I don't know if you guys saw it. Can you also share I don't think you can share your screen on live. I don't think so. But if you haven't checked the testimonial, I just posted it. My recent post, I just posted like literally 1 minute before I joined this live. So let me post it so people can see it and I can talk about it. But yeah, she bought it in South Carolina for $70,000. The renovation is amazing. If you haven't seen it, you could go back and check it out. I literally just posted it. But yeah, I see somebody has a question in Philly. Okay, so let me go down. I see the Section 8 question. I love Section 8 a lot. I'm going to come back to that. But the first question was, how would you price a short-term rental in Philly? So I do my pricing based on the competition. So whatever people are pricing in the area, I don't want to go way above. So I look at my competition and see what they're pricing, but also how their properties look like. So for example, when I'm doing analyzing a market, I do analyze the market, I analyze the property, and I analyze my competitors. Meaning I'll see if my unit is going to be 2-bedroom, 1 bath. In the area that my property is going to be in, I'm going to check out how many listings are there, meaning how many people are doing it, right? I'll weed out all the ones that are like 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom, because they're not my competition. My competition is 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, right? Those are the people. If somebody is looking to, I put myself in the guest shoes. If they're looking to book a place, if they can't find a 1-bedroom, they might go for a 2-bedroom. If they can't find a 2-bedroom, they might go for 1-bedroom. But somebody who's like a nurse coming from Atlanta to Philly doesn't want a 4-bedroom house by themselves. So I know a 4-bedroom owner is not my competition. So I weed out. So even if it's 60 listings in the city, in my area that my property is in, I see their units, their unit counts. I'm going to weed out all the 5-bedroom, all the 4-bedroom, all the 3-bedrooms. I'm going to focus on the 1-bedrooms and the studios and the 2-bedroom max. So from there, then I would say, how much are they listing it? And the ones that are closest to my place are the ones I'm going to focus on more. So I'll look at those and I'll see, okay, if they're listing their 2 bedrooms for $3,000 or $4,000, and this is like, so 5 of them are closest to me, and they're all listings like a range, because the listing would range dependent on how the renovation is done. So I look at, even before I start renovation or buying the property, I've done this analysis, so I know what type of renovation I need to do. If I need to up it a little bit, or I don't have to do all that crazy stuff, so nobody's doing those crazy stuff. So I always want to be 1 step, 2 step higher than my competitors. So when I look at the market analysis and I go deeper into the competitive market analysis, I'll say, okay, they're listing their units and they're doing the bare minimum at $3,000. I'm going to do more. They don't have wash and dryers. I'm going to do wash and dryer. They don't have recessed lights and modern lights. I'm going to do modern lights, light fixtures. I'm going to do recessed lights, right? They don't have an office space. I'm going to create one side to be office space, and I'm going to make my office look like this. I look at their decorations and I look at, okay, so the decorations are mediocre. I'm going to go a little bit more contemporary or go a little bit modern. So that gives me an idea. So even before I buy the property, it is all done. I don't wait to buy the property and do that. So this is done already. I know how much I need to spend. In some markets, my competitions are moms and pops, meaning somebody has a 4-bedroom house. They had kids. The kids went to college. So they were renting out their basement unit, or they're renting out 2 of their bedrooms, and the guests get to share a bathroom. Those kind of competition are not really a competition I can compete with. Like, those are easy competition because I'm giving you everything private inclusive. But if you look at it, nobody's gonna go see a 2-bedroom that's the same price as somebody's house where you have to live in and the person is still in the house. And sometimes you might go to the kitchen and they're there, and you're staying there. You don't know these people. They're weird people going around. So I know that person is that. Those kind of mom and pops are not my competition. So in those areas, I don't go crazy. I just go okay because I know people will come for mine than somebody's house where they have to share a kitchen or a bathroom. So when I'm doing analysis, I start this analysis in deep. So to answer your question, when it comes to price, I see how they're pricing out. So when I'm done and I know mine looks better than all of them or most of them, I can price it anyhow, and my price depends on demand as well. I can price exactly as them, or price it $500 more or $600 more, depending on how much demand I'm getting. So in a day, if I'm getting 10 inquiries for that one particular unit, that means I have to up my number because I'll get the best. At least one of them will rent it, or 5 of them will want to rent it. So when the place is really good, people don't care paying extra 500, extra 600 for that extra stuff that you have. A pool table, a basement that you convert to an area, all that kind of stuff, having a nice study, all that extra stuff. So there, I hope I answered your question. Diana, I don't know how to say it now. I don't want to butcher it. But I hope I answered your question. So there's so many things. That's just the tip of the iceberg, like Americans will say. But like, I go in detail. I'm a data analyst, and that's my nature. Like I'm a woman too. So you know how detailed we can get. So when I do my analysis, I go in detail and I'm confident. So when I'm doing my numbers, and sometimes I even get the bank doubting me, like, you think it's gonna work here? And I'm like, yeah, it's definitely gonna work. All I need is 3 tenants, 3 nurses for the year. That's it. They stay 3 to 6 months. If I have 3 of them, they stay from 9 to 10 months. The other 2 months, I don't have a guest. That's fine with me. I'm good. So I don't know if any of you have seen my post that I just posted a few minutes ago before I joined the live. I have a mentee that just sent me an email, and I get this all the time. Like, in my community, people are closing back to back. But today I got this mentee that sent me a message and said, hey, I closed. She's an older lady. She joined my mentorship a few months ago, and she closed. Actually, it was this year. Yeah, it was early this year, probably around the March batch. But I'm gonna talk to her in detail so I can do a testimonial. But she bought the property in South Carolina for $70,000. After she was done with renovation, it appraised for $235,000. So she's about to pull out all her money and over, way more than what she put in, double 3 times what she put in, to go put that as a down payment on other houses. So if you haven't seen it, you should check out her renovation. It looks really, really good. I'm so impressed. And I'm going to be talking to her and do a testimonial. I have like 12 or 13 students that have to give a testimonial that I haven't had time to sit down. But yeah, all right. So somebody said we need Columbus, Ohio. What do you need in Columbus, Ohio? Can you tell me how is buying when you're a Muslim an interest stuff? So to answer this question, you already know in Islam what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do, right? You can't take interest, so it's up to you, right? Some people still okay, I don't know if it's an argument or something. It's not an argument. It's going. Some people are like, well, if you live in a country where they don't give, like a country like America, and that's not an excuse. It's up to you, right? If you're not comfortable taking a loan from the bank because of your religious background, you can look for partnerships. You can also look for Islamic lending. With Islamic lending, be careful, because most of them, at the end of the day, at the back end, they sell the loan to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and that means you're still doing interest just like the other banks. You just don't know about it. I've talked to so many other people that say they got a loan from Islamic banks or people that act like they're Islamic lenders, and at the end of the day, it comes as interest, exactly that interest, but they're already in the house, they can't back out. So make sure you do research. But one way to do it without interest is private lending. Private lending, meaning you and the person, you bring in the money, they bring the money, you bring the deal, and you guys are partners. Or you just find a partner, or you just buy the properties for cash. So in my scenario, the properties that we buy are 50,000, 40,000, 60,000 properties. Sometimes you don't have to use the bank to buy those property. You can use it your own if you have those funds. So you shouldn't let that stop you and say, well, I can't have Islamic finance, I'm not going to buy. You can save up the money to buy. So cash is power. So if a property is listed for 50,000, you have 30,000 hard cash to pay now. Some buyers will sell it to you because they know it's guaranteed. You can close in a few days. So Shamake, I think that's your name. I'm probably butchering it. There are different ways, and you do research on it. All right. Okay, so hi, I subscribed to your class 2 months ago and paid, but I have not heard anything from you or your team. I am Diddy Wiz. Is this the community you're talking about? If so, can you send me? Because I posted it. We had a glitch where some people that subscribed to the community, they were not getting the link. Send me a DM, please. If you already have, just send me an email. I'm going to put my email here so you can send it to me. But yeah, you should be able to access it. Send me a DM. I'll just send it to my team right now to add you. And I'm sorry about that. We had a glitch, so many people were joining the community, and we had a glitch. So the glitch, some people went different payments. If you pay through PayPal, you're not getting the link. If you pay through the other payment methods, then you're getting the links. We figured it out later on, that's why. But we fixed it. All right, let me see what other question. Please send me a message if you're listening. Where can I get full info about buying a new house? A new house as an investment property or a house as a house? Like just buying a home, primary home. There's two different. So if you're buying it for a primary home, you have to get different type of lending. So investment lending, probably you want to talk to a local bank or just any lender in your area or the city that you're buying in, and they walk you through the process. It's pretty easy. Now, when it comes to investment property, because you're buying in to make money from it, that's different. If that's what you're asking, let me know if that's what you're asking. All right. Hi, Queen. No, I'm new here. Oh, you're new here? Welcome. We need Columbus, Ohio. Hamidu, what do you mean? Hamidu Tunkara, you sound like you're from Gambia or Senegal or Mali or Ivory Coast or Guinea. Your name sounds very familiar. How challenging is it in managing Section 8 rentals? So I get this question a lot, and because Section 8 has this, people have this conception of, oh, Section 8 tenants are going to destroy your house. Section 8 tenants don't destroy my place. Actually take care of it, because the way I do my renovation, I don't renovate and say, oh, it's a Section 8 property, so I'm going to do the bare minimum. I renovate it just as I renovate any other long-term rental. As far as it's not a mid-term rental, with a mid-term rental, short-term rental, of course, I'll go extra mile to do the nicer light fixtures, because more of the aesthetic when it comes to that, because people are staying shorter. Whereas the long-term rental, I'll still do recessed lights, I'll still do, nice light fixtures, but it's not going to be as expensive as those ones. But I'll still make sure I'm always 10 steps ahead of the competition, meaning other landlords that will just splash paint on a property and just rent it because it's Section 8. When the Section 8 tenant moves into a home like that, they look at it, they know that this has the bare minimum renovation. They'll just say in the back of their mind, subconscious is like, oh, we just stay here until we find something better. You don't want a tenant thinking like that. What you want a tenant to think when they walk in, they're like, this is my home. So when I do showings and tenants come back after the showing, they're like, I want it. Where do I sign? This is my home. I can see myself with my kids. Please, it's 5 minutes from my kids' school. I love this place. How do I? That's what I want. So I know I can't house all of you, but that feeling makes me feel like, okay, I did what I'm supposed to do. So when a tenant moves in there, I know they're going to love it. Like, okay, I'm going to move in here until 5-10 years. And the minimum stays for Section 8, I love short-term rental. So for Section 8, it's 5 to 7 years. So if the place is correctly done and they love it, the minimum that they stay is 5 to 7 years. That's what I want. I want a property that I do work on it. 1 month, 2 months worth of work. After that, I don't want to think about it. All I want to think about is cash flow coming in from that property. So a lot of people... how is North Carolina market? It's amazing. I don't know if you're just joining us. One of my mentees, I just posted it before I joined this class. She just bought a property for $70,000 in South Carolina, and it appraised for $235,000. And I know the Carolinas is amazing. North Carolina is actually very good. So if you're asking that question, but yeah, Section 8, I'll always do Section 8. Like I get my rent on the first of the month paid by the government. Some of my tenants are paying $6. The government pay all their $1,500. Some of them are paying $6 here, $5. I don't care, because the government is paying all of that, because they don't have, the government is paying half. Some of them the government is paying half. Some of them the government is paying 95%. Some of them the government is paying 100% if they don't have a job. So I get to, as a investor that buys out of state, I don't want to worry about my rent, especially when tenants know you don't live there. Now with Section 8 tenants, I don't have to worry because the money comes directly to my bank account. It has nothing to do with the tenant. The government pays me directly to my bank account, from the city's bank account into mine, right? And if there's any maintenance issue, I have a maintenance guy to take care of all the properties in that area in whatever city. So I have multiple of them. This person takes care of plumbing. This person takes care of little electric fixtures. This one takes care of, this one takes. So I have that automated, because living out of state, I don't want to take a flight just to go to court to take a tenant or pay a property manager to do all of that. They could be doing other things. So I automated my system in a way that, okay, this is a list of things that we need to focus on in any property for Section 8. I want to make sure I have vinyl flooring, not carpet. I want to make sure the kitchen is renovated, and I want to have 4 recessed lights. And the living room, I want to have 4 to 6 recessed lights. Recessed lights are those can lights, because it gives it the contemporary look. And also, the other landlords are not doing it. I want to be unique. You know what I mean? Unique. So I want to do those. So my contractors know, oh, this is a short-term rental renovation. These are the things she needs. Because we've done it multiple times, so they know. This is a Section 8 rental, this is what she would need. So even when I'm doing showings, my property manager's doing showings for me, I can hear my property manager and my contractor going back and forth, like, she's not going to like this. This is definitely going to go. She's going to want this. She's going to keep this. Because they already know what I want. Does that make sense? So when it comes to Section 8, I love Section 8. I don't have tenants that are giving me any issues Section 8. Even if you have a tenant that gives you a Section 8 issue, a problem, because not everybody is perfect, at least your rent is paid. If you have a long-term renter, you're like, oh, I'm not going to rent it to Section 8. I have a 6-figure, somebody that has a 6-figure job wants to rent my place. Yes, they have a 6-figure, but they might be a hoarder. They can be dirty. Dirty comes to the person, not the program. So a lot of people will say, well, Section, because that's the story you had. That's what other landlords have gone through. But then do you understand? There's 2 sides to the story, always, all the time. And there's the truth. The landlord will say, Section 8 tenants destroy my place. Section 8 tenant will say, they give me a crappy place. It was already crappy when I got here. So who's telling the truth, right? So I know for sure, right? The person has to be really, really bad. So for me, it's the person, not the program. So I'm going to say, oh, I have a Section 8 tenant that's a hoarder. Or I have a 6-figure tenant that's a hoarder. But not to say Section 8 tenants. That's too general. That's too much. That's not true. So for me, it's a person. It depends on the person. The person can be rich and still filthy, and they make your house filthy. The person can be poor and really clean. They will take care, because there's a clean person. That's their personality. They can't help it. So when you say Section 8 tenants are gonna destroy your place, it's they haven't done mine, and I'm not gonna say knock on wood. I'm gonna say by God's grace, it continues that way. So I hope that answers your question. I don't have any issues managing them at all. This is the thing. I'd rather have a tenant, Section 8 tenant, give me an issue, but I know for the first of the month, every month, I have the full rent. Then have a 6-figure tenant that destroys my place, and I still have to struggle. Someone's will say, oh, I can't pay rent on the 5th. Can I do it on the 20th? There's nothing you can do. You charge them fees, late fees, but that's not going to add up, because you need to pay your bills. So I know with Section 8, whatever happened, if I have maintenance issues, I know at least I have already been paid. Whereas you have a 6-figure or a normal tenant, traditional rent tenant, and they don't pay rent till the 25th. But you still have to fix their issues. If there's a toilet clog, if the sink is not draining, you still have to fix it, because it's against the rule to say, I'm not going to fix it until you pay my rent. You have to still fix it. So imagine you're coming out of pocket to do that, and they still haven't paid you rent. It's possible. What are the chances that you're going to have a tenant that would never not pay rent on time? That will always pay rent on time for the 1 year or 2 years that they stay with you. And with Section 8, I know I'm giving you a product that's great. You're going to stay there because the competition is so high. There are not a lot of landlords that are renting to Section 8. So if a Section 8 tenant sees a house that I gave them that really look good, they're not thinking of leaving anyway, because there's nothing else out there that looks like this. So guess what? They will stay and take care of it. And no parent wants to keep moving. Like, no Section 8 tenant wants to stay in 1 year and then move over there. Now, a lot of people, they just associate it with poverty and all of that. Hey, that's where I came from, okay? I came from nothing. I got here. I'm not going to treat anybody any different. Everybody's the same to me. All right, so I hope that answers your question. I don't have any issues managing them, to be honest with you. Okay, I don't see any questions. Did I lost you guys? Because I talk a lot. When I talk real estate, I get too personal. Where can I get full info behind her? So I think I answered that. Okay, I don't see any new questions. Let me scroll down. Maybe I'll see. How do you get mortgages? Well, what I advise you is when you're buying a prop, always try to make sure as an investment prop. Now, if you're buying for just a private home, your first home, any lender in your city or state would do. But if you're buying like a rental property, whatever because I'm an out-of-state real estate investor. I invest out of state and also in my state. So I just don't depend on where I live. I also buy properties where I don't live, right? So when you're looking, let's say you live in, I don't know, just DJoy. I don't know where you live. But let's say you live in Atlanta, but you can't afford properties in your area, or in the areas that you want to invest in, you can't afford them. You're like, you know what? I heard about Cleveland, Ohio. I can buy a property for $80,000 duplex, and it's gonna rent for $1,600 a piece on each unit. I'm gonna get 30-something hundred, right? You're like, okay, that's good for me. So what you want to do is find a lender, a local lender in Cleveland, instead of getting a lender from Georgia. Does that make sense? So that way it's easier because the lenders will be more flexible and they know that the property is in there. Some lenders are not comfortable lending you on a property that's out of state. If something happened, they have to fly down there, try to sell the home, blah, blah, blah. But if it's in there and they can walk past it and all of that, they will love that. So I would start with the local lenders. So when I say local lenders or local banks, I don't say Chase Bank. I don't mean Bank of America. That's not a local bank. You want the local banks that are smaller banks in that city. I'm in your community. Do you allow pets in your homes? Yes and no. So if it's long term, I don't allow pets, because if you stay in my Section 8 property or any of my long term property, you stay there for like 4 years and you have a dog, I can't control if the dogs are gonna have babies and then more babies and more babies. And anybody who knows pets, if you don't take care of them, or even if you do, somebody who never had a pet, when they walk into their house, they will know it smells like a dog or it smells like a cat piss or something. So I don't like long-term rentals having pets. First of all, pay my rent first and go figure out where you're going to put your cat. I don't. If I see it there and it's not on the lease, I'm breaking the lease. And sometimes they sneak in more dogs. They will tell you, because you want to also know what kind of breed the dog is. You don't want a German Shepherd or the dangerous dogs. If anything happened or somebody got bitten at your house, the police are going to be calling you when the report is filed. I don't want no police calling me about somebody getting bitten or something. Talking about that, one of my rentals, a 9-year-old took a car from the tenants. I think that the 9-year-old and the mom came to visit their cousin, the mom's cousin, and they were just stuck inside. The 9-year-old took the car keys and drove the car into the fence. They were like, let's not involve insurance. We'll get a quote from a company to go fix it. Those things you can't control. Thank God the boy is okay. But you see what I mean? So if you have a dog and a dog bit somebody else and hurt them, you don't want that. So, but when it comes to midterm rentals, I do rent pets, because these are people that are staying 3 months, 6 months max, or 7 months max. Most of them 3 months with possible extension. So they're only staying short period, right? And I charge them cleaning fees already, and I charge them dog fees. Dog deposit, and dog rent as well. So depending on the breed. So I ask you a question. If you have a dog, hey, I'm coming to this city. I just accepted a travel a nursing a contract at this hospital, so and so and so. I'm gonna be staying with 3 months to 6 months possible extension. However, I have a dog. It's very trained. It's so nice. It's so tiny. Blah, blah, blah. Your pet is like your baby, and they talk about all that nice stuff. I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. I mean, I love animals, but then I'll ask you what breed it is. I don't know dogs because I'm not American. We don't. Like Africans, we don't go and check what the breed of the dog is. A dog is a dog. But here you have to check. So I said, what breed is it? They give it to me. I put it on Google. And I said, does it shed? If Google says, yeah, it's shed in the winter or it sheds in the spring or whatever, I said, this dog shed. Is it trained? Yes. I said, I see that. No, it doesn't say this one is breed with something mixed with something. I said, ma'am, Yeah, it shows here. I sent the screenshot. He said, well, how much would it be? I charge you based on what the Google said. Because it's not that I want to make money from it. I just want to protect my stuff. So I will charge you based on that. And then I charge you a deposit. So when you leave, you clean out the cat hair or the dog hair, all of that. If it's not, you're not getting your security deposit back. I'm paying my cleaner. So if my cleaner's going there and say, there's a lot of hair, and it took us 2 hours instead of 1 hour or 1.5 hours. It took us 4 hours instead of 2 hours. Yeah, you're not getting your security deposit back. But most of the time, you already know because they took pictures and they sent it to me. So that I hope that answers. So yes or no. So some rentals, yes. Some rentals, no. Yep. All right, let me see. What other question? Do you rent rooms to your travel nurses or the entire place, like an entire house? Yes. So that's why I like smaller houses for midterm rentals. Most people don't want to share. Now, however, I love apartments because apartment complexes are the best ones when it comes to midterm rentals. So I will always get like a 6-unit apartment complex, which is a mixture of 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms. Right, so I can have demand for 2-bedroom rentals, tenants that are nurses that are coming as 2 of them, or colleagues or a couple. They might need some space, a guest coming, or just the single ones that are coming, take a contract in the city for 6 months. So a mixture is good. That doesn't mean you can't use a 3-bedroom and do a travel nurse, but the demand will be lesser because if you have a 3-bedroom, I'm a nurse, I'm coming to the city. Just think about it, like as a lady, if I travel for business, I go to Illinois or Ohio for business, I want to rent a 3-bedroom house. For what? Like, even if the 1 bedroom is more expensive than a 3-bedroom, I'll get the 1 bed. I don't need to be in a whole house by myself in a city that I don't live in. I hope that makes sense. But if I'm coming with my family, then I need a 3-bedroom. But most of the nurses are coming alone or 2, or they will say, oh, my boyfriend's going to come with me, or my girlfriend's going to come with me, or my husband is going to come visit, or my wife is going to... The maximum they will need is a 2-bedroom or 3. They don't need a 4-bedroom house. So I hope that answers your question. But yeah, I have a mixture of... I love mixing it up. Now, an apartment comes to give me that leverage. Like, if it is a 6-unit apartment, I get 4 units rented. And then by the time those other units are rented, maybe these ones have left, I get 3 more tenants come in. So I like that because continuously I'm getting income because I have multiple units at one location. Canadian market. Mimo Yemi, what do you mean about Canadian market? Tell us about Canadian. I know I have a lot of mentees that are from Canada and they're buying the US. So for those of you who don't know this, anybody can buy property in the US wherever you are. The Arabs, they come and buy mansions. And they go, so they can come hang out and go back. Anybody can buy. As long as you have the down payment and the banks can verify. Yeah. Now, it depends on your visa stuff too. Immigration stuff too is there. So I can't go into detail with all of that. But yeah, I teach my mentees and I introduce them to my lenders to show them how to go about all of this. Where do you get your info about your competitors and how do you analyze it? Oh, I'm not gonna give you the juice just like that. My mentees are paying for this. You just want me to keep giving you? No, bro. No, man. He said, give me the input. First of all, I'm very detailed. What I'm analyzing is gonna be 3 hours, so we can't even do that here. But just to answer your question, no, sir, I'm not giving you the juice. So you can go rent it. No. I'm just kidding. All right, so let me see. Hamidu Tunkara. Somebody says same question. Yep, Hamidu Tunkara. You and him too. The same answer. Do you buy in Missouri? I don't, but my mentees do. Missouri is amazing. If you mean St. Louis, Missouri, correct? St. Louis, Missouri, like Missouri, the state? Yes, if you're talking about that, yeah, the property is amazing, but make sure you do your analysis right. On some areas you want to avoid, but some areas they are amazing. And Missouri has great hospitals too, so midtown rentals is booming there. Is a duplex of $500K worth it if I have to remodel a lot? First of all, let's not even talk about a remodel. If you're buying a property for $500,000, the first thing you need to think about, how long is it going to take you to get the $500,000? That's why I don't buy rental properties for $500,000. If I buy a rental property for $500,000, it's multiple doors, like 24 units, 12 units. That are going to bring me $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month. So if I'm buying a $500,000 duplex, how much is the rent for each of the units? If you're talking about $1,500 each or $3,000 each, you're telling me I have to be in debt for $500,000 just to make $6,000 a month. After all expenses, you might not even be keeping the 6,000. That's how I do my NR. First of all, that's the first thing. As an investor, you always need to focus on your return on investment. If I'm putting 100,000 down, how long is it gonna take me to get my 100,000 back? A lot of people just buy just because, oh, I have a 500,000 home rental. A 500,000 rental property needs to bring in the amount that would justify it. Because if it's a loan, you get a 500,000 loan from the bank, and you're only making $6,000 rental income. From a 500,000 loan, you'll probably be paying paying at least 5,000 to 6,000 to the bank for your mortgage. So how much are you really making? So when you think about investment, don't think about, oh, you're buying a property just because you're buying the property. It has to make sense. The numbers have to make sense. Like the properties I buy, $1 million home properties, or like the Story facility, all of that, that's bringing me cash flow, like real cash flow. So I know within 2 years, I'll get all my money back, all the down payment I. Anyways, I hope that, David, if you can add more to your question, I would like to go deeper, because a duplex for 500,000 depends on the market too. So if you're in an expensive market still, like let's say you're in Atlanta and you can't find any duplexes in 200,000 range, and they're all 5,000 range, how much is the rent though? How much is the rent bringing in after all your expenses? How are you taking home? That's why a lot of people say, well, I have $1,000, I have $600. I'm like, oh yeah, impressive. I need to know the numbers. When I mean numbers, I mean how much are you taking home? If you tell me I'm taking home this and I'm impressed with that, yeah. But don't tell me I'm a multimillionaire, I have 1,000 units, blah, 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 and you're only bringing $200 per unit. $200 per unit. I put in all that work just to get $200. Not me. My cash flow has to be at least 1,000 or more. Minimum 800, to be honest. And that's what I teach in my class. Like, if I have to take a loan and have a 500,000 loan hanging on my head, God, come on, I need to keep 10,000 profit or 5,000 profit. Because if you put it depends on what kind of loan it is. If it's an investment property, if it's 20% down or 25% down, you're paying a lot to the bank. So your rent has to justify what you're bringing in. All right, guys, I have to go pray, but I hope we have is Atlanta a good market to buy duplex and triplexes? Yes, depends on the price range. So a lot of people think, oh, you have to buy in the city of Atlanta. It doesn't have to be. It could be 30 minutes from Atlanta, 1 hour from Atlanta. Because when Atlanta is full, which it already is, the next city is the next thing, right? I want to use the next SHIT, but my son always say when I use go, so using a bad word. This is a halal home. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. America is changing me. But yeah, you can still buy duplexes here. But make sure whatever you're buying, whatever price range you're buying, let the rent justify it. You don't want to buy a 3,000, 400,000 home just to get 1,500 rent, or just to get like 3,000 rent after you pay your expenses and everything. You're only keeping like 400. Like, you can go 1 hour outside of Atlanta. You can go to smaller towns around Atlanta and buy a duplex for 200,000. Or 150,000, and you can make the same amount or more. I hope that makes sense. Can U.S. alien resident get a home loan? I'm not sure what U.S. alien resident is. If you mean like green card holders, I just got my green card like 2 years ago. I think it was 2021. So I've been buying way before that, if that's what you meant. A U.S. alien resident. That is very USCIS language. If you can, Batista Gold, if you can, like, explain it in detail. You guys forget that English is not my first language. You have to go detail a little bit so I can understand and give you examples. As long as you pay taxes and have proof of tax of income. Somebody said, oh, are you trying to answer her question? I want to know what U.S. alien means before I answer that question. I don't want to give you the wrong answer. Kiki Love said, can you do this if you already have a high mortgage? Yeah, so a mortgage, your investment property and your primary home is different. So when you say mortgage, do you mean your primary home? A lot of people think that, oh, I have a primary home I'm paying for and I have student loans, I can't buy an investment. That's not always true. It depends on what your down. If the bank can see that you can put a down payment on a property, yes. and they can see how much you're making. They were able to tell, okay, if we give her a $200,000 loan, her mortgage is going to be $1,000, the rent is going to $3,000. We see that she already has a job that's bringing in this month. Worst case scenario, if her tenant doesn't pay, she'll be able to pay the $1,000. They will. USA is a green card holder. USA is a green card holder. I don't know what USA is a green. Are you saying me? I'm a green card holder? Yes, I am. If that's what you're asking. You say USA is a green card holder. Texas T. You say USA is a green cards holder. Do you have a payment plan for course? Yes, there's a payment plan for the course. Please send me a message. US alien. Oh, US alien. It's a green card. Yeah, I'm a green card holder. I wasn't a green card holder. So as long as you live and work in the US and you're paying taxes, you can buy a home. Even if you don't live in the US and you can buy a home, but with the loans, if you don't live in the US and you can buy a home, some lenders will not lend you, but some lenders will lend you, but they will not give you loans like FHA loan that are backed by the government. For those type of loans, you have to work and live in the US for you to qualify for that loans. But there are different type of loans and different type of lending that is possible in real estate. There's seller financing, there's rent to own, there's subject to, there's DSCR loan, there's conventional loan, of course, where you put the down payment, 20% down payment, and there's also seller financing. I think I talked about seller financing. So hard money lenders, private lending, it's so many options that you can go. So many. I need to take your class. Will you give any discount due to me taking bootcamp class? Yes, send me a DM, please. Send me a DM. Spend $500K. Oh, spend $500K to bill worth it. Spend $500K to bill worth $850K each. See? It has to worth it. The numbers have to make sense. Do you only buy multifamily home? No. I buy single family, multifamily. For me, it's about the numbers. The numbers have to make sense. Could be a multifamily. Ooh, I can hear Aisha. Hello? Yes, baby? Aisha? You want to come? Okay, open? Can you open the door? Yeah? She's talking now. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Tell Daddy to open the door for you. Say, Daddy, open it. Oh, look at you. Mommy's in the class. Oh, wow. I was just going live. Oh, 1 more minute, actually. Yeah, look at all the food you put on your... Hi. Say hello. Say hi. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Hi, guys. I'll see you guys. I'm going to go put these kids to bed. It's 9 o'clock. They're supposed to be in bed at 8:30. But they're still here. Anyways, what can you buy for $100K in the US? You can buy a lot. $100,000, you can buy 4 or 5 rental properties. I was just talking about, and I posted this. You guys can go check it out. Right before I joined the live class, one of my mentees sent me her property that she just renovated. She bought it for $70,000 in South Carolina, and after she was done with renovation, it appraised, meaning the new value of the property is $235,000. So she money to go and repeat the process over and over. So you can check that I just posted it a few minutes ago, or like maybe 30 minutes ago for sure. All right, thank you guys. It's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go, and I'll see you guys. If you have any questions, send me a DM. For all of you that I said send me a DM, please do. And yes, there's a payment plan for the mentorship, and yes, we start next week Tuesday by God's grace. All right, guys, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.